Welcome back to ATVN. USC men's basketball star forward Benny Boatwright told CBS today he is declaring for the 2017 NBA draft without an agent. By choosing to not hire an agent, Boatwright has the ability to test the draft waters and return to school if he chooses. As a sophomore, he still has 2 years of eligibility remaining. Boatwright led the Trojans with 15.1 points per game during his 2017 season campaign. Staying on the court, USC head coach Enfield received a contract extension through 2023 after leading the team to the most wins in program history this season. Enfield was hired back in 2013 and has seen his USC teams increase their total wins each season since. In a press release about Enfield's extension, USC Athletic Director Lynn Swan said, "With Andy Enfield as our head coach, we have built consistency and stability in our men's basketball program. Extending Andy's contract will allow that consistency and stability to continue." Under Enfield's leadership, USC has jumped from 11 total wins in his first season to a record 26 this season. He has also guided the Trojans to 2 back-to-back NCAA tournament berths and won a pair of games in this year's NCAA tourney. The next step for Enfield and the Trojans will be to contend for a league title against powerhouse Pac-12 teams such as Oregon, UCLA, and Arizona. Now to a sports that's actually in season. The top-ranked women's water polo team is going head-to-head with number 2 Stanford this Saturday. Sports correspondent Angel Vizcarra has more on this weekend's matchup.
Thanks, Julia. Well, USC will definitely have its hands full when MPSF foe Stanford makes its way down to the Utengsu Aquatic Center this weekend. And it's safe to say that this matchup between Stanford and USC could be considered a rivalry. And to put things into context, USC is currently on a 52-match winning streak. And guess who beat them? Yep, back in 2015, they got beat by Stanford. And on the opposite spectrum, Stanford's only loss this entire season has come against USC, and it came in an overtime thriller back in February. So the women of Troy are now looking to make it 6 straight wins against the Cardinal with a W this Saturday at Uitengsu.
They're gonna come in strong. They want this title as much as we do, but in the end, it just who has the heart to win it, and we have the heart, and they do have heart too. But in the end, it's who is just gonna play better and who's gonna have their strength in offense and defense.
All right, so let's take a quick second to look at our keys to the game for this matchup between the women of Troy and the Cardinal this weekend. First, we're starting off with keep the freshmen involved, and by freshmen, we're talking about USC freshman standout Maud Meggans, who has coming off of back-to-back MPSF Newcomer of the Week awards, so she's obviously been involved in the Trojans' offensive attacks, and in last week's victory against Arizona State, she tallied 2 goals, 3 assists, and a pair of steals. So keeping this freshman going is going to be a huge key for USC in their big matchup this weekend. Now let's go on to tip number 2. Chamorro needs to be Chamorro, and we're talking about junior goaltender Victoria Chamorro. She's won the MPSF Goaltender of the Week award on several occasions already this season, and with Stanford's Maggie Stephens coming in already with 46 goals scored this season, Chamorro's going to be a huge part of stopping the Cardinals' offensive attack this weekend. And we round it out with brace yourself for a tight finish. Some things are hard to predict in sports and some aren't, and this weekend this matchup is going to be really close between the two teams. 4 of their last 6 matchups against each other have actually resulted in a 1 goal or less victory. So it's going to be a tight matchup. Look for Stefania Harlabides to be the one taking that big shot if she needs to for the women of Troy. So all the action begins this weekend, Saturday, 5 p.m. at the Utengsu Aquatic Center. Back to you in the studio, Julia.
The women's tennis team is set to face 2 tough matchups this weekend against Utah on Friday and Colorado Saturday. The women of Troy in the midst of a tough season with 6-8 record overall and are 1-4 in conference play. Junior Madison Westby hopes to use this weekend as an opportunity to rebound.
There's a lot of altitude where they're from, so coming here it's going to be a lot different for them. I think that, it's just our team really has nowhere to go but up from here, so that's really positive for us, and we're just going to come out swinging.
Hopefully the women of Troy can knock out 2 wins at home this weekend. If USC Beach Volleyball top duo seniors Kelly Clays and Sarah Hughes win against Washington Friday, they will extend their win streak to a whopping 100 consecutive games. This means the last time the pair dropped a match was over 2 years ago on April 2nd, 2015. During that time, the pair has won 5 Pac-12 Pair of the Week awards, including this past week. To put it into context, the last time these two lost, the top song on Billboard's Hot 100 was Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars. The #1 box office film was Furious 7, and the dance craze Hit the Quan just began. Kaylee and Rachel, back to you guys.